Hi, my name is Michael Shields. I am the new brand ambassador for Christie's Direct 2020. So now I'm going to talk through the clipping lines. This is a little trimmer. These are little Artco trimmers. I love these. They're a fantastic wee trimmer, and we turn it on. So we put it to, if I stand this way, over to the left, so the whole way over, right? So and this is my opinion of what these blades are. They're 5-in-1, right? So this is a 40, 30, 15, 9 and 10. They say it's a 10 and 7, but I think it doesn't cut the way a 7 or a 10 would cut. Or a 7, at least, it's a lot finer than a 7, so I would say a 10. Now, tilt the dog's head up. From the corner of the eye down, you'll find a wee nodule here. It's like a wee whisker. And you just reverse clip it up to that line, pulling all your beard forward. As I talked about before, in your flat work, clip that back, don't be feared, and come down and over your shoulder just there, and then you can blend all this part and all this hair here by stripping it in, or using a number 4 or a comb attachment for these. You could use a number 2 comb attachment, which would be like a number 4 blade. Just slip it down like this, clip it in, and define that hair. Now this is a salon trim, as I say. It's not, you're not going to do this for a show ring or anything, but you can do it in a competition ring. You can do it anywhere you want, but this is how I do it. Reversing up into that beard, tilting the head back, pulling the beard forward, finding your little whisker nodules and following them the whole way around the dog, and then that will give you your lines for where you leave your beard. That's what we do with this. Now when we're going to the back end, it's always on the 10, clipping out the bum. I take the whole base of the tail completely off. As I say, people do things differently. This is how I do it. It makes it a lot easier and a lot faster in the salon. Instead of trying to trim that tail or strip that tail, I strip out the top of the tail, and then I just get my blenders out and then I blend it. For the rear angulation, I do exactly the same as I done in the front, and I take it down to the fold of the leg, which is here, and then I reverse it back up and get rid of all this hair with a nice clean finish on the back end. Now be careful around the bum, because you can just snip that bum and then the dog will eat itself. Nice clean lines. The width of the blade is what I would run it down here at the side, just blending it out as you get to where the bend of the knee is in the back of the leg here. So I just run it down here and stop and then blend out. And even in a normal schnauzer, this is how it's done. In a normal trim, if you were going to clip the schnauzer, this is exactly the same way as you would do it in a clipped dog, just exposing this muscle and giving it a nice defined rear angulation. And that's how we do it for this wee man. And even on a strip coat, this is exactly what I would do. It's called your flat work. Just take it out with your clipper and then blend it down and dilute it in. And if you can't pull it and you're hurting the dog and you're not pulling it right, to blend on those lines that you've clipped, what I would recommend to get is a wee pair of blenders. Now there is all different names for these, right? These are the double tooth blender. And you just bring the hair up and just lightly blend over it. Now the wee double tooth blenders are brilliant because it's a lot faster. Just lightly, don't dig onto the skin because you'll leave wee lines. And that will blend that out for you very easily. Or you can use a number 4 skip tooth, or even a number 4 blade if you don't want to use your scissors in around that area, if you're new to grooming and whatever else. But for me, these wee double tooth blenders, and they're blue quartz, they're fantastic wee blender, and they're nice and fast. I use them on the eyes, I use them on the legs, I use them everywhere. So that is what I would do in the salon for a hand stripped schnauzer. Clipping out your flat work, the front and the rear, your neck and that. Tick your ears, do the 10 on the inside of the ears. He doesn't like his ears being touched. It's the noise. They don't like it. But he's very young. He'll get used to it after a while. And the more you do it, the better it becomes for him. Take it right out, or a 15, or whatever it is you want to, how tight you want to go on there. And be careful that you don't nick the ear. Keeping the ear flat between your fingers, just like this. Using your fingers at the other side to flatten out that ear. Push it out, nice and flat, and run. Never go towards the ear, always working away from the ear at all times. So that you're not going to come into any of those wee skin flaps or the wee extra fold that's in here and nick it. And if you do that, so you've probably done that before in your career at some stage. Bleeds and bleeds and bleeds. It's hard to get it to stop. But anyway, that's what I would do. Just starting that out. And now we're going to move on to working on the dog's legs and how I would scissor them legs and making them nice with the rear angulation and getting your columned legs, your schnauzer front end, and making it nice and sharp. We're just going to go through a few different sets of scissors that I would use. Now the trimmer that I used was the Arco. These new goldy coloured ones, they're fantastic. They're lovely. They're a lovely looking wee clipper, and they last forever. The wee Arcos will last forever. They come with 2 batteries, and you can just change them. And a wee docking station for the charger batteries. They're a fantastic wee clipper, and as I say, there's 5 blades on them. I say that's about a 40, 30, 15, 9 and 10. They say it's a 40, 30, 15, 10 and 7, but I don't believe that that's a 7 because it takes a lot more off than a normal 7 blade. So for me, that's how I use them. Now, a lot of people struggle with trying to get this angle here, the rear angulation, getting the leg to sit perfect. How I do it is I start with the foot. Now this, as I say, was done maybe over a week ago. So he's not that much to come off it, but I'll just go through the technique and what it is I do. Now everybody knows me, they knows that I love my rose lines and they all laugh at me, but these here's the new rose lines and they are the 80088 wide. They're fantastic, they're just coloured. They're serrated aids, they cut through any kind of hair. What I do is I comb the hair down the dog's foot, everything down. Take out between the pads. Holding the legs just off the table slightly and go across the back pad, straight across, straight cut across. That's all you do to lift that foot. Then, keeping the leg slightly off the table, I just use the scissors in that angle and do exactly the same as I've done here, the whole way around the foot. And the reason I do that is because it lifts the foot off the ground, the hair up off the ground, so it looks as if the foot is floating. And it'll cut that rear angle onto the back of that foot. So the angulation starts here, into the knee, and it's all in like a 45-degree angle. Same if you were doing a poodle, you were doing like a Scandinavian trim, this is exactly what you would do. A terrier trim as it's called on a poodle. Now, how to get this angle, this angle into the front of the foot. A lot of people comb it all up and they're fittering and fittering and fittering and combing it all up. It's very simple. Going back to basics. Cup the hock, lift the foot up to its natural bend, comb everything forward. Now, as you all know, schnauzers with a good strip coat have a crap leg hair. Times his hair breaks a lot. He's never off the beach and he's never out of the forest beside his mum's house, and he's a lovely wee dog. He loves. He's not kept in the house all the time. He's out every day, and his mother's a very outgoing, outside person, so she likes to get out every day. So what I do is just comb it all down, and from the toe, I cut a straight line. You see that? Slightly lift the leg again, comb it all forward, and from your bend to your knee, it's a straight line. Just dust over it, you don't need to take a whole pile off. And that will help you to get the angle that you want on the schnauzer's leg, the correct angle. You don't need to use sprays and things. Just dust around the leg, taking the sharpness out of that knee. And then I just move on to my wee blenders. Now, as I say, I strap this down under the leg so that it's taking away that line that you create when you strip it back. You can create a wee line when you're clipping the dog. You can also create a wee line. But if you are clipping the dog, just turn your clip around and slightly come out over it just by blending out the leg. This is for all you new groomers out there, or anybody that's having difficulties trying to dilute that line, that severe sharp line that comes from here, from the tuck up down onto the fold of the leg. Just slightly lift the hair, holding the scissors away and just dusting over it can help blend it there, right? If you're stuck, if you're leaving lines, or in the strip coat, I just pull it up and start pulling down into the leg to blend that line. That's all we do. You want nice sharp lines on the back end and on the front end as well. So if you stand them up, good boy, you can see that angle just cut in by doing one straight line and then cutting up under the knee. So now the rear angulation on that leg is there. Then comb it all out, just touch the coat. Don't be sticking in and going like this. Comb it all out, just let it sit naturally. Get your blenders and blend the bits out, just taking that sharpness off the leg, and you will get that correct line on the back leg. You see that? Now, I know when you look at it and people say to me all the time, oh, you make that look so easy. Yes, we do. But we're standing here for years and years and years. And that's how I get my angle. Instead of fittering, because I used to do this and try and get that angle coming round here like this. Straight lines, go back to basics. Hold the leg in the natural bend, as I say. Straight line across here, straight line up, and then cut on that knee. And that'll give you that angle that you're looking for. And then you turn the dog around and work on your inside. Now, good boy. Lifting that leg again, comb this out, and to where you've clipped to that muscle where the bend of the leg is, comb it out like this, and it's another straight line to that muscle. Now, what I do find is very important for all groomers, new, old, whatever, to learn new techniques. I learned this from a lady years ago, watching her doing it. I was actually doing an exam, and she was an examiner. I'm not going to mention any names, but I was doing what everybody does, and trying to get that angle, and doing all this and doing all this. And she showed me that simple technique at the end of my exam. I did pass my exam, of course, obviously, but I did struggle a wee bit with the angulations in the legs and that. And she showed me that wee technique, and I've been doing that for years, and it pays off. It makes it so easy to create that shape. Now, if you get the dog that's got really soft hair like he does in his legs, you can put a bit of spray in there. Hairspray or Thick and Thicker or whatever it is you have. I like the iGroom control, hairspray control. You've got 3 different control settings on it of how much hairspray you put in. I love that product, it is brilliant. And that's how I would get that. But if you just touch it, and for this I'm not going to put on any hairspray because he has to go home to his mum and she'll not wash it out. So, but if you were doing a competition or something, that's what you would do. Put a wee bit of hairspray in. Not firm hold, very light hairspray, because if you put firm hold on, they kind of get the brush through it or the comb through it. And then they go, oh, right, okay, so you've used too much hairspray, and then you get marked down for it. But for me, the iGroom control spray is fantastic, and it will hold that coat. And that's how I get that back leg to its the correct angulation. So hopefully that'll help you on the back leg. Now we're going to move on to the front. Now turn the dog round. This area here, you're supposed to strip this all out, right? But it's very soft, right? And you can pull it out, strip it down and blending on that leg and keeping this a little bit here in the middle to stick right under your skirt. You can do it, and I do it, but you can also just use your blenders. If you're thinking you're hurting the wee dog, or you're pulling out too much, and you're afraid to pull, or you don't know what to do, then just use your blenders. Comb it up and blend this area. And lifting the leg hair out. Good boy. You want these legs to be nice. It's more off the outside than it is on the inside. How I do it is I just comb it all out. Straight line, cut down. Now, some people lift those legs up and do it. I don't. It's easier if you just keep it standing. The same here. Cut it down. So cut it like in a rectangle. Straight line, straight line, straight line up the front and straight line down the back. And then take off the edges, and that'll give you a lovely tubed, columned leg. Nice sharp lines. Now the same on the inside. Comb it all out. And as I say, look at the leg here. He was only done a couple of weeks ago. It does break. It's very, very soft. You can use products for it. You can use conditioning sprays. You can use coat protectors. You can use whatever it is you want to use for it. But for giving it to your customers and sending it home, they keep putting it on, putting it on, putting it on. The dog comes back and the dog's leg can be matted solid. So I don't really recommend it for your customers. But for you guys out there that want to do this for your own dog or a competition dog or whatever, this is how I would do it. And as I say, we all do things differently. So that's straight down the outside of the foot. Good boy. And getting in your inside. Comb it out, get it in the stand. And it's straight down in the inside. Good boy. Now if he does decide to do that on you, dancing around the table or moving his legs, all you've got to do is lift this leg. Now I'm using ordinary scissors. If you're not too confident with them, get out your blenders again. And as I say, these wee double M ones are fantastic. Great for Westie heads and everything. Just coming down and just tidy around the foot. Giving that nice columned look leg. Now, turn your dog to the side, do the front of the leg. Do the inside, do the outside, do the inside first, leave the back to last. Turn the dog to the side, lift his wee head up. See where that's all completely blended in there now? Comb this out. Now you can lift the legs, but that's just tough. You can lift the leg up and scissor, but it's tough at times for people. And for newer groomers out there, it can be very tough. So I would just leave the leg standing on the table. Comb it all out. Stand at the side of the dog, look down the leg and cut from the shoulder down to the toe. Straight line. Sort of coming out in an angle. And use your blenders if you have to. If you're not too confident with your ordinary scissors, use your blenders. I use blenders every day of the week. Love them. Love them. Now there are thinners and there are blenders, but in most cases they call everything thinners, right? So even on they're confusing. Even on the stand, even if we're away doing a show or whatever, and if people come up and all the labels on the blenders and the thinners are just called thinners, they're not called anything else because that's what the manufacturer calls them at. But the blenders are a wee bit different. Blenders are finer, a lot finer, and they're for finishing off dogs' coats, and then the thinners are for taking out bulk. But for me, these wee double-ended ones are fantastic, and for finishing off the wee schnauzers and any other kind of wee dog that you want to do that. Even you can do cockapoos, whatever it is you want to use on them. These will be brilliant for it, because just in case you're not too confident with your scissors, then you can just use your wee blenders. Now, working on the back part of the leg. So what I do here is I cut out this elbow to give it that wee bit of an extra flair at the back, shaking out the dog's leg, straight line as I done in the back, straight line from the pad, right back, just dusting. You don't take it all off. And then it's a straight line up. And then blend around that elbow. Take out the elbow and go straight down again. Now, as I say, Exactly the same in the front as you do in the back. Comb the foot down when you're going to cut the foot. And cut a straight line across the back pad, just underneath, any hair underneath, not at the sides, just hair underneath. And you'll see how much hair these wee blenders take off. They're fantastic. Lift up the head, give them to stand again, come out the leg. You see the way the hair's all broken around the back of the front leg, so trim it straight down and try and keep as much as you can on the back. Get that lovely finish. Cutting around the foot as the foot lies on the table. And then moving on to this breast hair. So that's your back, that's your front leg done. Now, as I say, schnauzers, they're very hard to get a good balance of the coat. If you've got a good stripping coat, then you've also got really weak legs. And 9 times out of 10 in my experience, I've come across that, and even a lot of people that I've asked in the shows and things, have they got that? Yes, they do. Loads of different products out there to try and protect it. Also wee socks or whatever they can that they put on the dogs for show dogs, that will protect it. But for your own wee salon trims, whatever, you just have to work with what you've got. And try your best to try and keep it. And try educate your customers to try and brush through the coat every night. Even if it has to put a wee bit of detangling spray on it, it'll do it no harm. Now, when I clip it down just below the Adam's apple, a couple of fingers above the breastbone. Clip it out over the top of the leg. Blend all this area. And leaving this little V in the chest, and then just blend it back into the leg. Now don't go too tight because you just leave it pure bald. Yes, and schnauzers and things like that, you do see here the rosettes are completely bald. I don't like it. This is how I like to look at the dog, and how it should look at the front. You see the difference in the two legs? You see that? Now, and as I say guys, blenders to finish it off. You can just use your ordinary straights or your curves or whatever it is you want to use, but you'll not get as nice a finish. And if you do, then you're a very good groomer. Absolutely brilliant. But for people out there that's only starting out, or even a couple of years on it, get yourself a wee pair of these. There's single-sided and double-sided. These are the double-sided. These are brilliant for Westie heads and things like that to try and lift that hair and thinning out the coat. Now, getting right in, cut that down. I know you don't like it, it's tickly. Good boy. You comb it all down and just blend this into where your undercarriage line is. As they call the skirt. Not a skirt, it's just the angles that you take it. And that is how I do a little hand strip, schnauzer, salon trim. Or even you can do it in a competition, whatever way it is you want to do it. But for a show person, that's a completely different way of doing it. But this is how we do it. Good boy. Then to get this angle here, and cutting in your skirt line, as they say, skirt line, what I do is I run my finger down, find out where the last rib is here. I get the dog to stand. He's a wee bit bored now, so he is. Stand him up. Comb it all down. Go to where the last rib is here, and I just get in there to the tuck up, just in line. And go straight in and cut it just here. Don't touch anything here. It all has to blend in. And then come at an angle down towards the elbow. Keep it nice and short. They don't have a big long skirt. It's just sharp lines. The skirt should just fall under the coat. And then if you have to, wee bit sticking out, get your finger and thumb on and just pull it through. Good boy. Now, a lot of people struggle with this part here, blending that into the leg. It's very easy. Blenders. Comb it down. Let it sit naturally. If you went down there from when your last rib is where I would take the line, then I just blend back and a curve like that, just very slightly. Hope you can see this. And that's how I get that angle, just to blend onto the back of that leg and dilute that under the leg. Taking out a wee bit more at this elbow. Just go around it and make sure you have everything nice and neat. And all this, take it straight back, take it off. And as I say, guys, these are fantastic. That's how I get the legs done. I'm blending in that coat. I'll go around this side of the table now so I can stack them up, and then we'll go on to the face. Can you see that? That's how I get my ankles, and that's how I do it. Okay, and whatever way you get to that point, it's up to yourselves how you use your tools and whatever else. People don't do everything the same. If we did, we'd all be robots. But for now, this is how I do it. And I'm going to move on to this wee fist now, so I'm going to come back round so that I can stand in front of the dog and you can see what I'm doing. Hi everybody, if you have any questions on running a salon or dog grooming questions, please leave a comment below. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and follow us on social media at Christie's Direct.